Good morning. This is Argyle Breakfast, the only way to start your Saturday morning. Thank you very much for being here with us, and it is lovely to be back in the studio after my week off. We're gearing up to another Argyle match day, of course, and that is a trip over to Burton, Albion coming up for you this afternoon. But before that, of course, as always, we've got 2 hours of great guests and features to get you in the mood for an afternoon of football. So without any further ado, let's take a little look at what we've got coming up for you over the course of the show today. We'll be taking a sneak peek at the new Argyle women's documentary, Making Waves. It's an access all areas look at the team, and we'll have a little bit of that to bring you later on this morning. And Argyle defender Cornell Suge will be joining us in the studio. He's had an interesting journey in football so far, and he'll be telling us all about it just after 11:30. So lots to get through as usual this morning, and plus of course we'll have another attempt at Get the Badge In. Our leaderboard, as I'm sure you've seen, is shaping up quite nicely, with me still not quite at the bottom. And helping me get through the morning is the man, the myth, the legend, none other than Mr. Aaron Cusack.
Good morning. The man, the myth. The myth's right, definitely. Yeah, not so much a legend.
The mythical man,
yes.
Aaron Cusack.
How are you, Aaron? Welcome back.
I'm good, yeah, thank you. Did you have a nice week last week?
Marvellous.
Good. I'm sure we'll talk about it in more detail with Charlie later. Yeah, it was weird not being. I actually thought not having. I was at a wedding, so that's why I couldn't make it. And I thought, oh my God, first Saturday off, I'm going to have a lie-in. I was up earlier last week than I am to come in here.
Yeah, absolutely. Body clock.
Getting ready and driving to that, but it was a lovely wedding. I was sorry to miss the day, but then I saw the result.
Of course.
Yeah.
So it started so optimistically as always.
I haven't actually had a chance to kind of catch up with the events of last Saturday. So what was it like?
What, the game?
Yeah.
Frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, very frustrating. It was. We mentioned it in the analysis. It was just they were there for the taking. Mm-hmm. If I think everyone will agree with that. And we just weren't cutting enough to break them down, and they held on to. They took the lead and they held on to it. So very frustrating.
Yeah, I suppose the positive though, midweek we did have that stomping victory against Spurs under 21s. It was, wasn't it? So highs and lows.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll be able to draw more inspiration from that today than last.
Well,
Saturday.
you can only beat the next opponent that's available in front of you. It's put in front of you. So we know it was a very young Spurs side, but you've still got to go out there and put performance in. Mm-hmm. And to score 6 goals is a good return, I guess, leading into today. Yeah,
and I think in terms of the breakfast show this morning as well, Cornell Suge on the show. It's always nice when we actually get to have a player in. Yeah. Not for them, because it usually means that they're injured and that's why they can't be, travelling or out on the pitch. But it will be another great opportunity to get some more insight onto how things are all working. Behind the scenes and in front of our eyes.
Absolutely, yeah. It's always great. I think the inside nature of it provides us as people from the outside looking in like a better interpretation of what's going on in the camp. We'll learn more about his injury and how he's recovering and what the morale's like and things like that. And hopefully they're in a positive position and they can kick on today.
Good morning. You are watching Argyle Breakfast with me, Erin Black. Thank you for joining us on this Saturday morning. Now, if we rewind a little bit, on Wednesday, a brand new documentary about Argyle women was released on Argyle TV. It's called Making Waves. You may have seen it already, but if not, it is an access all areas look at the team and what goes on behind making them a success. And there has been a lot of change, as we've discussed here on the Breakfast Show in previous weeks, with staff and players coming in. And so far, that does seem to be paying off with the results. So if you haven't seen it yet, here is a little sneak peek to give you a flavour of what's to come.
Shoots. Oh, I say.
There's been a huge turnover of players at Argyle in the summer, with numerous new arrivals, but existing players like Jota Papianu, Imi Crawford, Charlotte Whitmore, Katie Dixon and Ella Stevens have all signed contracts, some for the first time, to play this season in Marie's new era.
When I first came into the role, it was one of my priorities was to first of all initiate contact with those players because, as I said, you know, putting a face to the name, but also for me to get a better understanding of them and also like their journey. Because as I said, I appreciate, you know, previously some of their experiences, there was probably a little bit of frustration. So I think, as you said, establishing that clear communication early on of what we were looking to do going forward and kind of reassuring them that, you know, this is the direction that we are going in now, that they're part of that, and obviously that I think that they can evolve and develop within what we're trying to do.
I'm over the moon with the new contracts. I mean, it was an easy decision. The only thing I was sort of waiting on was to see who the new head coach would be, because there's always a bit of uncertainty of who's coming next and what do they think of you and those sort of things. But I met Marie at Home Park the week that she was announced as our new head coach. We had a very honest conversation about where we want to go, personal and team aspirations, and yeah, it all matched, so here I am.
That was really important for me to make sure I made that contact early on and had those conversations. Everyone will naturally gravitate to new players, but you know, these are the players, the glue that keeps everything together, and you know, that have been here and have been the bedrock of what this club is about. So it's really important that they understand the importance that, you know, that they have as well.
Lulu Jarvis, returning for her second season at Argyle, is moving back into her accommodation at Plymouth Marjon University alongside new signing Layla Proctor.
Scott, how strong are you?
Like, kind of. I've not been to the gym in like many years, but let's give it a go, shall we? There we go. Oh my god. Brilliant. I don't know if any of this was yours, but we just put bits in there for now. Sorry, you can come through.
Highlights the house.
Alright.
So glad this is still here.
Yeah. So that. Whose was the guitar?
Oh, that was Ava's.
Was it Ava's guitar? She left that here.
She got it and like tried it once and that was it.
Brilliant.
So it was
Thank you, mate. That's cool. And you did everything else, didn't you?
Yes.
So thank you. Yep, it all looks good. It's just all the key stuff. You know the drill.
Yeah.
You'll be given the tour, etc. You know everything about it. So, other than that, any issues?
Just set the house on fire and that's
set
it.
the house on fire. Exactly that.
That's easy.
Easy.
Nice.
Gosh.
Thank you guys.
Absolutely
Thanks
that.
for helping moving me in.
No, you're welcome. You're welcome.
When I came in, there was a clear plan in terms of the recruitment of the profile of player that I wanted, in terms of positionally, but also, as I said, in terms of the type of player that they are, so that they would fit in to how I wanted to play and how the team is going to play. So that was my priority that I'd already identified coming in terms of the areas of the pitch where we wanted to recruit. And obviously then the due diligence was done around obviously players that I know. That's a lot easier to kind of facilitate in terms of obviously not just them as a player but as a person, because again the dynamics off the pitch is just as important in terms of what happens on the pitch.
I know it's a bit cliche, but it genuinely feels like we've known them for months, and we joke about it with the girls. To me, it's crazy to think that 4 weeks ago I didn't even know half of these people, and now it's, like I said, it's been 3.5 weeks, and we've met outside of football so many times. We've been for a swim, we've done so much stuff outside of it, and I feel like I've known them for a long time. So it's a great feeling, and it wasn't just me, it was some of the older players as well, but I think the new players themselves have really made it an easy and sort of smooth transition.
Making sure that, you know, we've got the background on all of these players, that, you know, we've done our research in terms of what they can do on the pitch, what their statistics look like, what's their kind of injury history, but also them personally and their personality and how they're going to integrate into obviously our culture and environment. So overall, obviously we've brought in quite a few new players, but I think in terms of players that I identified, I'm happy that the vast majority that we identified, we've been able to get into the building.
Brilliant stuff. And a snippet from Argyle Women Making Waves, episode 1, is on YouTube and Argyle TV. If you want to check it out a bit further, make sure you do go and watch it, because like Aaron, we were saying before, it's so nice to see how the women's team here is really developing And I think it's something that if you're not really been into women's football before, you might not know that much about it. So this is a real nice kind of gateway into getting to understand how the whole process works here at the club.
Yeah, really great, and it's really informative, like getting that kind of fly on the wall experience. And I really like the fact that they've made a conscious decision of going, right, if we're going to do it, let's do it properly. Let's get a really high quality head coach in who can attract good players. They've had a really good start to the season. They've had a couple of early blips, but I think they've also had some really notable victories as well. And this is the direction they want to be going in, because there's no reason why they can't eventually get into the Championship and compete with even better teams, especially with the infrastructure they've got here, and the calibre of player that they seem to be attracting now to this part of the country, which is always difficult. Even in the men's game, it's difficult. So I can appreciate how difficult it is for the females as well.
Yeah, it feels like they've put a little bit of a reset on the the Argyle women's team this season. We've got Marie Hurahan coming in. Episode 1 does focus on her and her experience of trying to build this new team, which she touched on in that preview for you. And it would be nice that to find that at the end of this, with more people watching this documentary, that this greater understanding comes through in women's football, because we've spoken about it before on the breakfast show. You don't have to compare the two, because there isn't. Yes, it's the same sport, but there's not a direct comparison, and it's making sure people are able to enjoy both separately.
Absolutely, it's one club.
Yeah.
But they are different versions of the game, and they are approached in different ways as well. But one thing I think it was this week, the FA have come out and said Championship players and above, I think from next season, or that they have to be offering minimum wage, allowing players to do this full-time as a living rather than having a part-time job as well to support the main income, which is great. And if you have more opportunities like that, it will attract better calibre and inspire people in the female game to want to go on and play this game for a living, which is great.
Right, we'll have all of the build-up for this afternoon's game over on Matchday Live, which is live on YouTube from 2:30 p.m. this afternoon. Before that, though, of course, we've still got a lot to talk about here on Argyle Breakfast. I know I mentioned first time ever we may beat Burton Albion at the Pirelli. We're joined in the studio now by Charlie Price as well, alongside Aaron. The hoodoo, the voodoo, the mystery around, how much do you think it plays on players' minds and stuff like that?
It's mad, isn't it, how this happens? I remember that season, actually. Oh no, it might have been the season before. Yeah, I think it was the season before. We hadn't won at Gillingham for something like 40 years, like something mad, and had played them quite a few times. And it's difficult. It's difficult to know. Why do these carry on going on for so long? I mean, it obviously gets built up. And so maybe that then becomes something.
Do you think players going into it today, obviously, some of them have only been with Argyle a couple of months, some couple of years. They're not going to have the legacy. If we just focus on this fixture, they're not going to be aware of the legacy of whatever.
Exactly.
But it's kind of part of your job to get the facts for the commentary and whatever. So are you almost in a position then where you're like, by the way, have a great game, but did you know?
You haven't actually won it. Yeah. No, I didn't mention that to anyone in any of the previews or anything. Okay. So it's not been brought up. I did kind of mention to Alex Mitchell, who we spoke to part of the preview show. He'd scored against Burton before, and he won against Burton at Burton last year for Charlton. Okay. So we talked about the positive stuff there rather than the fact that we haven't.
Well, it's written in the stars. He's going to score the winner, isn't he, today?
Easy. Exactly, that's the dream.
Well, we may almost be done with Argyle Breakfast this morning, but we do still have time for one more guest. A live guest here in the studio, none other than Cornell Suge, joins us on the sofa. Thank you for coming in to Argyle Breakfast this morning. I was saying to Aaron before, it's great for us when we actually get to have some of the squad come in for a chat on Argyle Breakfast. But the flip side of that, it's not great for you, because the reason you usually end up here is because you're injured and you can't be travelling. So how are things going with your injury?
Good morning, thank you. Yeah, it's going well now. I'm feeling better every day, so I see progress every day. And every single day in the gym, doing exercises to strengthen my muscles around my knee, getting treatments, and yeah, I just can't wait to be back in the pitch as soon as possible.
Yeah, I bet. Can you remind everyone exactly what happened then regarding your injury?
Yeah, so it happened over 2 weeks now before the Luton game. In training, I got slipped, and my right knee went inside, and then I felt on it, and yeah, I got a grade 2 on my MCL. But yeah, I think I'm halfway through now, so hopefully another few weeks, and then I can be back.
It must be really frustrating as well, because injuries like that, they're quite innocuous. They just kind of, like you said, you slipped, you know, and then you've torn a ligament on the inside of your knee, and that's put you out for, say, potentially 6 weeks. It must be really, because as a footballer, you accept that injuries will be part of the process, but when things happen so like innocently, it must be even harder to accept.
Yeah, it is, but like you said, it's football, so these things can happen. But yeah, this is like the worst part as a footballer, to get injured, because you just want to be in the pitch there with the boys, travel to the away games. So yeah, I'm doing everything I can to be back as soon as possible.
Yeah, great.
What does the recovery process look like then for, like, you, for example? How many times a week do you have to rest, or are you kind of doing your rehab? What are you going through at the minute?
Yeah, so I'm almost in every single day. The first day off I'm gonna get is tomorrow. But today I had a really hard session, so I think I deserve now that day off. So yeah, but it's also sometimes it's good to have a day off to rest it. But other days, yeah, we are in. Even 2 days ago, I went to the pool with one of the physios to start a bit of like jogging in the water. And I feel that I'm quite close now to be back on the pitch and start things.
That's really, I suppose that's one of the things is taking the weight off the knee, because we've had people on before where you go in that big weightless bag. What, you know?
Oh, the anti-gravity treadmill, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess being in the pool and doing something like that is crucial, isn't it?
It's the same, yeah.
Yeah. I think the anti-gravity bag sounds a little bit funky, doesn't it?
Yeah, when he just blows it up and then you lift off the ground. Like, yeah, literally.
Yeah. Well, I'm really glad that, you know, you're feeling a difference and you're feeling it's going better. Of course, we kind of jumped straight in with how's the injury, but we should do a proper little intro for you, really, because Cornell, as you watching will know, in his second season with us here at Argyle, second year in England as well, I think I'm right in saying, and in that time you've done an international debut, and although you're currently out, I think it's fair to say your time at Argyle has been pretty successful as well. How are you feeling about your start with the club?
Yeah, obviously I was so happy to sign for Argyle, and then last season I only had one small injury, so I missed only like 6 or 7 games. The rest I was able to play. So yeah, I'm really happy here. I'm enjoying my time here. And I just hope that this season is gonna go well for us.
Well, it seems like it started off, you know, not amazing, but I think, you know, people are. I mean, how does it feel as one of the players? Do you feel like everybody's starting to find their feet and getting to know each other a bit better now?
Yeah, and I think we got a good group of boys, and I believe that by the time everything is gonna get together, and we're gonna start picking up more points and move forward in the table as well.
We just saw a couple of clips of you on the screen there, out in Home Park, coming out into a packed out stadium. Do you remember the first time that you came out onto the pitch in Home Park to play a match?
Yeah, I remember. It was fantastic, because you know, at home in the teams I played, but I could say like except like one team, Ferencváros in Hungary, like the other teams don't really have like that much fan base. So normally it's only a few thousand people in every game, and here like every game is full packed stadium. And yeah, the fans are incredible. So I remember the first time when we were walking out to the pitch, I felt like that. Yeah, it's home, you know.
That's why they call it Home Park, I guess.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
So growing up in Hungary, then, what's football like over there? What are the differences that you've noticed?
When I grow up, so yeah, I started to play football like quite late, at the age of 11. But I was playing before that, but only in school.
Yeah.
So yeah, I started to play in team since I was 11, and for my local team. And yeah, I went through the ages, then got to the first team there, had my debut, and played there for 4 years. And then I signed to another Hungarian First League team, and from there I joined to Argyle.
Wow. Did you know you always wanted to do football then?
Yes. I mean, my parents were between tennis and football.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my father used to play football as well, but he retired at a young age. But I was also playing tennis when I was young. But when I was 11, I had to make a choice which way I was going, and yeah, I chose football because I got so many friends also from the school who played for the team, and yeah, I just wanted to play football with them.